The newly built Martian University will be specializing Martian-born colonists as Project 6 does whatever it's menacingly doing in the background, and as toxins rain down from the Martian sky above, now that that is an actual thing. Hello Legion, this is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Surviving Mars Green Planet in our Red Winter series. So we have 2 rockets planetside at the moment, neither of which are loading rare metals, because we're going to let those build up for a bit. But then we'll probably use one of these for some additional expeditions, and then once we have 30 rare metals to send off, we will send the other one off, so that we can make money and continue to do things that are fun as a colony. Speaking of which, I've spent a good bit of the series, because it was genuinely a problem, kind of lamenting our research progress. But look at how much we've made over the series in general. We still have about half of the tree to progress through. But when you look at the number of technologies we've finished, it's actually pretty substantial and, kind of encouraging to see. Right now, we are almost done with core rare metals, which will give us extremely rich underground rare metal deposits. That's a breakthrough tech, so that's not an everyday tech. It's not something you're going to see in every Surviving Mars playthrough. And then there's interplanetary projects, which of course will allow us to increase our atmosphere and water stats for terraforming purposes. All of these are 9,000 research projects, by the way. We have deep water extraction after that, and then lake vaporators, which lake vaporators are going to be, that's another breakthrough that we got in just the last episode, and it came at just the right moment because of our situation with wanting to have lakes kind of interspersing our domes, if that's the correct word. But one thing that was pointed out in the comments, and I really appreciate this because I didn't think about it, we had a situation develop last episode with, where were you? Is it over here? Hang on, let's find out. Yep, we need to turn that back on because that research lab was destroyed, and we also need to turn we need to get amplification set up again. Speaking of which, is there anything I need to do with the university? No, there's not. All right, this is already amplified and its second shift is turned on. Let's also check here. And come on now. There we go. All right, so all of those are set up, but because that research lab was destroyed in that random act of sabotage, we needed to make sure that we had that turned back on. So we also, I'm noticing that both of in the process of, at the end of the last episode, waiting on that Martian University to finish, we now have a couple of RC transports that need things to do. So as we begin this episode, let's go ahead and give them something, shall we? And take a look around and see where we've picked up a lot of the stuff off the surface. Holy crap, there's not a lot left. I'm looking for kind of the larger deposits of things laying around, and it looks like, there's 52 surface metals there. So let's go ahead and have one of the RC transports load. We're just going to keep doing the whole load all thing. We've got a lot of metal on hand, and we have a source that is an underground source, so it's not like we're completely out. But so there's that, and then there should be a little bit more. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, there's not a lot going on over here, so these RC transports are going to need more jobs relatively soon. But I'm going to go ahead and have you just collect all as well. There's not, unfortunately, the way I've been doing this for the past episode or two with these 2 transports, is not going to be tenable going forward because those giant, meteor shower bombardment locations are now devoid of resources. So let's jump up to speed 2. Why does that not work? It's the oddest thing. When I push the hotkey to jump up to speed 2, it doesn't work the first time until I click the buttons. And anyway, sorry, it's a technical detail, but it's been for the entire series. And I'm like, why are you not working? Oh, hey, it's a cold wave. We haven't had one of those in a while. 2 sols, 5 hours. That's okay. I can live with that. Let's take a quick look at our resource production here. Yeah. So we now have a full complement of workers at the rare metals extractor, which is quite nice. Let's take a quick look at our passenger selection. We can bring down 7 more colonists that match our current filters. Let's double check those as well. We aren't encouraging any officers at the moment, but it's probably time that I go ahead and start encouraging them. Another thing that I could do, since I have training happening now, is I could go ahead and turn these off. And what this means is that all of the specializations, or lack thereof, will be equally weighted. That's one thing I can do. What else can we do in addition to that? Of course, we can filter by sex, but we don't need to. Perks, we definitely want to continue to encourage celebrities and geniuses where possible. There's no reason to really discourage any of these because they're perks. And then we can discourage cowards, because that's not affecting my current pool at all, as a matter of fact. Yeah. Let's go ahead and apply that. We still have 7 people we can bring down. I'm not going to do that just yet. I might wait until the rocket actually fills up, because the last couple of times that we brought people down, or I guess you should say brought people over from Earth, and then eventually brought them down from orbit, is that the last couple of times we've brought like half loads of rockets. So let's wait until we have 12 colonists, shall we? The top of the water looks so weird on that lake. But you can see there's some lichen already growing. I mean, that green is not there by accident. We have some increase in soil quality as a result, which we can see by looking at this. Look at that. There's our lichen patch there, and there's a naturally growing lichen patch starting here. Nice to see. So let's go ahead and turn that off. We have finished core rare metals. Let's see what this anomaly yielded for us.
Silver white mineral up to the camera, just as the chemical analysis came through. We found tellurium.
In a moment, the chief engineer at Mission Control was at the communication station urging instructions to the RC Explorer on how to handle and analyze the discovery. It was amusing to watch the almost childlike excitement in the eyes of the expert. This is a significant discovery because it allows us to overcome an old problem in metallurgy. Easily machinable metals allow for economical manufacturing of components, but the factors that allow it usually lower their performance and vice versa. Thus, engineers had always been challenged to find ways to balance the two factors. The addition of tellurium to iron alloys allows them to perform better in both areas, so this reduces the cost of robotics techs by 10%. Great news indeed. That is good news. So now that we finished core rare metals, let's take a look at where we might have found deposits, because that's the big question, right? I guess maybe we have to find them. Wait a minute. Is it only going to show me? Okay, no, there's one there. There's definitely one there. For a second, I was really worried. Hang on, that might be another one. Okay, we do have one by our base. That's good news. And that's... Mother of God. Sorry, it took me a moment to register 25,000 rare metals. That's enough to fund the colony for the remainder of its existence. And it's nearby. So, yeah, that's happening. We're going to be building more domes soon enough. That is, of course, a standard rare metals deposit. Just to give you a comparison, a normal rare metal deposit has about 500-ish. Yeah, that's a lot better. Holy crap. All right, good news. So let's go ahead and queue up a few more scans here. Need to scan you too. And we pretty much, after our current round of scans is complete, we will have all of our base scanned. All of our base area. Some of you know exactly what meme, one of the original gaming internet memes, is playing in my head right now. If you don't know, go back and listen to the last 30 seconds of commentary. Listen to the words I use. I'm not going to say it, but those of you who heard it now have it in your head too. Either you're welcome, or I'm sorry, or both. Okay. These guys are both still gathering. Let's go up to speed 3. Why the heck not? We're mainly waiting on research at the moment. I mean, I suppose I could go ahead and build another dome, but the issue with that, and the reason I haven't so far, is that we still have lots of vacant living space in our current domes. So it's really just a matter of waiting for, waiting to be able to do things with our current rockets. Let's take a quick look at the planetary anomalies that are available. We have the SETI satellite, which gives me some additional monies. And we are starting to produce electronics again, but not anywhere near 30 just yet. We could always capture more meteors, then that would bring down additional resources. We had pretty good luck with the last meteor shower, but I don't want to have another situation like several episodes back where it rained down. I think we've got some toxic rain starting maybe. Things seem to be getting a little bit green. Oh, no, maybe not. That's odd. Maybe it's just the atmospheric effects gradually changing. Or maybe it's just that I was seeing the green there and the green there. I don't know. What? Why? I guess one of the... Okay. Yeah, we had 8. It went down to 6. So I'm guessing one of the buildings that requires electronics for maintenance, like, for instance, the Martian University. I hadn't thought about that. Ooh, we have a meteor storm coming, too. So we didn't have to call one down. We've got one coming of its own accord. All right. Well, that's a little bit disconcerting. Let me pause for just a moment while I look for the next spot worth scouring for resources here. Tell you what. Let's have you gather and then gather. Oh my god, I forgot queuing was a thing. Oh, this is beautiful. All right, so we'll come back to that rover in just a second. See, I haven't even recalled that that was always a possibility. Okay, so you're going there right now. Why don't I have you load up all that? All right, so we have 2 disasters inbound. It's going to make this an interesting next couple of minutes of gameplay. I'm excited to have more water on the surface because the more natural water we have, just a reminder of something we looked at last episode, one of the things that will end the toxic rains is having 5% surface water. It's going to be a while before we start to see actual bodies of water on the Martian surface here. We will get there. But for now, we just want to hit that 5% mark, and then we need to hit 55 in both atmosphere and temperature. I think the next mark that we're likely to hit is sustainable grass. Well, no, that's going to take 10% water, so that could be a while too. The cold waves are going to end in just 20% more temperature, so we could hit that next. And then dust storms, well, we haven't had dust storms, but we'll have blue skies at 50%. So those next, the third and fourth marks that you, I guess I should say the second and fourth marks, including the third, but not as relevant to us, of course, with dust storms, are going to be the next marks that we hit. Lovely to see. All right, so both of these guys are still gathering. Need to hit 30 there before we do anything with our rare metals. I could send a rocket off. There's no reason to keep both of them here. Let's go ahead and have Phoenix number 1 return to Earth. Yes, I have the other projects that I could choose from, but we don't have enough options right now to consider doing that, and I'm not really needing any trade either. So I'm not worried about it. Electronics production still seems to be okay. Speaking of which, let's take a look at... Okay, good. We've got the upgrades rebuilt for that. Any of the other buildings that collapsed, do they need to be turned back on in any important ways? Let's take a quick look. Not that I can tell. That selection bug is still going strong. Cold wave in 19 hours. I suppose I should go ahead and activate my good friends, the subsurface heaters. They'll need to be repaired, but they are set on high priority, and I have plenty of metal laying around, so not an issue. All right, so you're currently loading up a few more things that I told you to load up. We are 42% of the way through interplanetary projects. Then what are we doing after that? Deep water extraction. Good. I guess I can go ahead and queue up another technology. What should we do after lake vaporators? Apparently the open farms can be done sooner than you think. And it's a good way to get additional food and never have to worry about food anymore. I also like the idea of being able to build additional Stirling generators, but those require electronics, and we're not exactly in a place where we can think about building lots of those quickly right now. Smart homes could come in handy. Yeah, there's so many choices. Farm, hydroponic farm, and fungal farm upgrade. Decreasing number of workers. Anything in the name of efficiency, I kind of want to pursue. Also, the magnetic field generators. This is a wonderful thing to have, and we'll probably have a couple of them by the time we're done, but look at how many electronics they require. It's ridiculous. Tourists pay 50% more funding to come to Mars. Melt the polar caps. Super expensive, though. Yeah, you can start to see the research cost of these terraforming techs. It's insane. Okay, let's go ahead and queue up. I like this one the most. Going back to that topic of efficiency. Retirement, age, and death from old age. Happening later in the colonist's lifespan. Also, water consumption of domes reduced by 50. So it's going to be these kind of techs that we pursue most frequently. Hey, the waste rock processor. Somehow I completely overlooked that I got this one. So let's queue that one up actually before stem reconstruction, because we need to start getting rid of that waste rock. We've been waiting on that for a good while. All right, so the cold wave is on the way. It looks like our subsurface heaters are already working. And is it me? It might just be me. But as the temperature increases, are the appearances of these ice patches maybe seeming a little bit less pronounced? Or maybe it's because we're not in a cold wave. Because I don't think the ice patches go away when cold waves end. I just think the cold waves end. It's not like all ice disappears. It doesn't work that way. So we're still going to have the subsurface heaters. Well, no, we won't actually. But we have them right now for the cold waves, and we don't keep them running. Yeah, we can go ahead and dismantle them once we hit the 50% temperature mark. I'm just curious to see what will happen to the ice, in particular the ice on the lake, if anything, as the planet continues to terraform. Because ice wasn't something that I dealt with a lot when I did my practice run. I say practice run. I was just playing for fun. But the first time I terraformed Mars, it was quite nice. I'm looking forward to doing it in this series as well, because like I mentioned in the last episode, it's really fun to see things starting to grow on their own without your help. This lichen will eventually start to spread to other locations and improve the soil quality as a result, and it's just really exciting to see. Actually, let's have a quick look at, right, you're currently paused. However, you still have more room to carry things, so where else? Aha! Have you gather there. And here's the cold wave. Need to be mindful of that RC transport now. Yeah, that was just in my head. I don't think that those ice patches are any less pronounced at the moment. I could be wrong. All right, so this cold wave is just going to last a couple of Martian days. It's nothing compared to the last one. And as long as we keep our heads, I think everything's going to be okay. We also have a lot of stored power. We do need a little bit more power production, though. We built a number of batteries already. We could do a few more. As long as they stay powered, everything will be okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and build 2 more over here, just so that we're outputting as much as we can. And also storing a little bit more, because each of these outputs 20. So this should put us over our demand. So we want to have, obviously, power production a little bit higher than power demand during this cold wave. It was due to contributors in the comment section that pointed out that I was able to figure out the situation with these guys. You need to have multiples of these. It's not enough just to have enough storage for all of your power so that it doesn't run out during times like this, for instance. But you also have to have enough accumulators in quantity, not just amount of storage, but accumulators themselves, because each accumulator only has a certain amount of output that it can run when it's backing your base up, which is not something I knew until this very playthrough. So thank you again for that. Okay, we are at 20 rare metals. We need 30 to take a full rocket back. Right? It is 30. It's 15 fuel, 30 rare metals. And of course, that number is going to go up and down a little bit because we're still using those to create electronics. But I don't mind that. I want to start building up our electronic storage a little bit. Where's the meteor storm happening? Let's take a close look. All right, meteor storm appears to be... Ooh, that's kind of close. Hopefully it doesn't migrate too much. But that does mean that we might get some additional resources in this direction. Never a bad thing. And possibly anomalies as well, which I will never complain about, ever. We've been very fortunate during this playthrough with our anomaly production, so or not just production, but just discoveries, things that the game has given to us. All right, so speaking of things being given to us and things going on in the background, we do need to think about Project 6 as well. Is it time to build a third network node, or do we need to wait until we have another dome? I can build a third network node here, I suppose. Costs 20 electronics, though. Man. And 3 electronics for maintenance. So I really have to monitor my electronics production. I don't think it's time to build a third one yet. I don't think it makes sense. Only 17 hours remaining in the cold wave. So this cold wave's been flying by. Let's take a look at you. There's still room for 10 more resources that I can load here. So what can I find, if anything? Yeah, I can't really think of any other spots that I've seen. I guess there's some right here. It's a good ways away, though. Just load up what you can. Meanwhile, you're over here.
Resources are low. Sector scanned. Anomaly found.
That's what I want to hear. And that is a breakthrough. Go check it out. Like I said, anomalies have been kind to me this playthrough. I'm not even worried about jinxing it anymore because they've been so nice that I've already got a lot of really nice things. Also, we're at 100% terraforming right now, or interplanetary projects. So we're going to have a couple of new terraforming abilities, including something we can do with this rocket. So we can capture ice asteroids, which costs 100 fuel and 15 machine parts. But by virtue of doing that, we can also, by the way, import greenhouse gases. But we don't have enough funding to do it, which directly increases by 2% atmosphere and 1% temperature the atmosphere of Mars. So we get, just the gases, and then we heat up the atmosphere just a little bit. I think I will go ahead and select capture ice asteroids, though, because that 5% water boost immediately is a pretty good option. And I'll show you why, in case you need a reminder. Toxic rains end once we're at 5% surface water, and we're already at 0.74%. So that gives us one of the indicators we need. Then we just need to hit 55% here and here, and we won't have toxic rains anymore. Toxic rains haven't even happened yet. But where? All right, so it does look like the meteor shower has migrated a bit. That's not in a good location. Cross fingers this doesn't cause too much of a catastrophe. Come on, guys, let's get that fixed. All right, so we've got some split grids. Yeah, the meteor shower has definitely migrated a bit. For whatever reason, it's saying this is now disconnected. Why is that? It was adjacent before. Maybe the power line that was connecting it got hit. Did I have a power line connected before? I don't remember. No? Oh, the carbonate processor's actually been... Oh, that sucks. It got hit by the meteor directly. So we have to rebuild it, which means 50 metals, 50 machine parts, and 200 concrete. Wow. All right, also... Oh, all the GSG factory, too. Oh, no. Okay, well, thankfully we have the machine parts to support that. But God, we got another one.
Meteor incoming.
All right, so yeah, the fun has begun officially. This meteor storm. We've still got another soul in 13 hours, and it is wrecking me right now. Thankfully, not everything is getting destroyed. Yeah, this is a bit of a disaster. Look at all this fuel explosion, building. I mean, I can only wait for the drones to repair everything. Oh, okay, the cold wave has just ended. That's good news at least. So what I can do to reduce some of the stress on the colony is shut down all the subsurface heaters.
Meteor incoming.
Oh man, this just went from bad to worse. So this is going to be another hit on the life support grid.
Breakthrough discovered.
Nocturnal adaptation, what do we have here? All colonists gain 20% performance, or just plus 20 performance, not percent, just plus 20 performance during night shifts. All right, well, let's see. This meteor shower is going to last another sol, and we're at the end of the episode here, so we're not going to necessarily be able to... God, just getting peppered here. This is exactly what happened with the first terrible, terrible meteor storm. Definitely migrated in the wrong direction. We have the resources to repair this. That's the good news. But the question is just getting it done fast enough. We're definitely losing. We have a lot of stored water and oxygen, though, so that at least is carrying us through. Enough to make me kind of pause and think, all right, well, that's a disastrous way to end an episode, but we're going to stop here. And in the next one, we're going to resolve the meteor shower situation and hopefully also... Oh, it has to manually load the fuel for this. Okay. I forgot. Colonists teleport, resources don't. So we're still waiting on some of the fuel to come through here, and we did lose a good amount of fuel given that meteor strike. Now, if a meteor strike hits there, we're in real trouble, because that's 333 of our stored fuel. That's where most of our stored fuel is at the moment, given the strike that just occurred. So, yeah. Let's just hope this doesn't get any worse in the beginning of the next episode. We also lost 7 drones, which is another whole problem. So I'll deal with that in the beginning of episode, what are we on, 28? Yeah, episode 28. Ugh. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes are coming out every day now that I'm not jet lagged anymore at 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.